Tonight, one of Hollywood's most private love stories is suddenly back in the spotlight. Zendaya and Tom Holland are once again at the center of secret wedding rumors, and this time, the speculation feels bigger than ever. It started with whispers, then came a comment from someone close enough to make fans pay attention, then came the public sighting that pushed everything into overdrive. On March 20, Zendaya and Tom were seen holding hands in Los Angeles, and almost instantly, the internet began asking the same question all over again. Are they already married? What makes this story so powerful is not just the romance, it is the mystery. Zendaya has not given the world a clean yes or no. Tom has stayed quiet. And every time they appear together, every small detail starts to feel like a clue. A ring becomes a headline, a walk becomes evidence, a silence becomes a statement. Now the world is no longer just watching a celebrity couple, it is trying to solve them. And in a culture obsessed with oversharing, Zendaya and Tom may be proving that saying less creates the biggest drama of all. The latest explosion did not begin with Zendaya, it did not begin with Tom. It began with a comment from Law Roach, and that is exactly why people took it so seriously. Law is not some random voice online, he is one of Zendaya's closest collaborators, someone who has been part of her image, her career, and her public world for years. So when he appeared to imply that a wedding may have already happened, fans did not treat it like gossip. They treated it like a possible slip. From that moment on, everything changed. The rumors no longer felt like fantasy, they started to feel possible. Then people looked back at every recent appearance with fresh suspicion. The gold band meant more, their distance from the press meant more, their refusal to clarify meant even more. And that is how celebrity mystery works at the highest level. One comment becomes a spark, the spark becomes a theory, and the theory becomes a full-blown narrative that spreads faster than any official announcement ever could. Suddenly, Zendaya and Tom were not just a private couple anymore, they were the center of Hollywood's newest guessing game. Just when the rumors were already reaching a boiling point, the story took a strange new turn. Fake AI wedding photos of Zendaya and Tom began spreading online, and for a moment, they looked convincing enough to fool people. That is what made this story more dangerous and more addictive. It was no longer just about whispers or rumors or suspicious jewelry. Now there were images, visual proof, at least on the surface. For many fans, that was enough to think the mystery had been solved. But then, Zendaya addressed the images herself during her appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live on March 16th. She made it clear that the wedding photos were fake. She even said people in her own life had been fooled by them. That one moment should have shut the entire story down, but it did not. In fact, it made the rumors stronger. Because while Zendaya debunked the fake photos, she still did not answer the deeper question. Did a real wedding happen somewhere behind closed doors? That is what made the entire situation even more fascinating. The fake version was exposed, but the real mystery survived. And once the public lost trust in what it could see, it became even more obsessed with what the couple might still be hiding. At this point, the biggest headline may not be a secret ceremony. It may be the silence itself. For years, Zendaya and Tom Holland built their relationship away from constant public exposure. That privacy once made them feel grounded, even refreshing. But now that same privacy is feeding the frenzy, because the less they explain, the more people speculate. And once fans believe there's a secret being protected, every detail starts to look intentional. The ring becomes symbolic, the timing becomes suspicious, the hand-holding becomes confirmation of something bigger. Recent coverage only added to that effect. Zendaya continued making public appearances with the band. Tom remained close, supportive, and very much present, yet still offered no public explanation. That combination is powerful. It does not look like confusion, it looks controlled. And that is why the public cannot let this go. If they denied everything, the story would cool down. If they confirmed everything, the mystery would end. But they are staying in that perfect gray area where the rumors can breathe without ever fully landing. And in modern celebrity culture, that kind of silence is not empty. It is fuel. The truth is, this story may not even be about whether Zendaya and Tom are married. It may be about why they want to keep the answer to themselves. Their relationship does not look unstable. It does not look messy. It does not look like a crisis. It looks solid. It looks serious. And that may be exactly why the public feels so sure that something important has already happened. Reports have treated their engagement as established since early 2025, and the events of March 2026 only intensified the feeling that they may have quietly moved to the next chapter. But if that is true, why stay silent? The answer may be simple: control. For celebrities at this level, once a private milestone becomes public, it no longer belongs fully to them. It becomes content, commentary, debate, endless reaction. By refusing to give the world a clean answer, Zendaya and Tom may be protecting the one thing fame usually takes first: ownership of their own story. That is why this rumor feels so compelling. It is not about scandal, it's about boundaries. And in Hollywood, boundaries often confuse people more than chaos does. In the end, this may be why the story has become so irresistible. Because whether Zendaya and Tom Holland secretly got married or not, the mystery has already become bigger than the answer. The AI photos were fake, the hand-holding was real, the affection is real, the commitment looks real. But the final confirmation still belongs to them, and they do not seem interested in giving it away on the internet's schedule. That may be the smartest move of all. In a world where celebrity relationships are constantly pushed into public performance, Zendaya and Tom have turned privacy into power. They have the clues out there, but not the conclusion, and that gap is what keeps millions of people watching. So maybe this is not really a story about a secret wedding. Maybe it's a story about two global stars refusing to let the public own the most personal chapter of their lives. And maybe that is why the rumor keeps growing. Because in Hollywood, people are used to confessions, they're used to reveals, they're used to being let in. But Zendaya and Tom are offering something rarer and far more powerful: a love story the world can see, but never fully touch.